Welcome to the Four Brewers Podcast. My name is John Holzer, and as always, I am joined by
Jason Harris,
Greg Nagel,
and Tim Mather.
And this week we are drinking a haul of beers that we got from Tavour.com. They put out an 8-pack recently that was a multi-pack of 4+ rated untapped beers. And that's what we're drinking today. We've got a whole bunch of IPA, I think is all it is. That was the theme, right?
Yeah. I bet our listeners think that we're listeners think that we're getting paid by Tavour, but we're not. Tavour, I could use $1. I could use a couple bucks.
Yeah, if you want to sponsor the show, Tavour, hit us up. We'll gladly take some beers and give some sponsor love your way.
Instead, we just pay for them with our money.
Yeah, and Tavour's like, why would we do that? You're buying our beer anyway.
and you name check us. It's great.
Yeah. And so if you're unfamiliar with how Tavour works, basically it's an app that they have a new beer that debuts like every day, I think.
Oh, they do like 3 or 4 or maybe even more a day.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really pay that much attention to it. I get all the emails. I don't get push notifications on my devices because it's more notifications than I need. But every day I have to delete Tavour emails just because I want them in my inbox so I see them. But I don't I'm not going to buy that much beer from Tavour. So that being said, it's a great service.
As a former Tavour addict, I had to turn the notifications off, not because they were bothering me, but because I was buying too many IPAs.
Yeah.
Because they push, basically it's like, I'd say it's like 3 to 5 new beers every day. The emails only cover a handful. You get push notifications, everything's up. You add it to your crate, you build your crate, and eventually you ship it. And it's all great. And I was literally like, oh, that sounds good. Bye. Oh, that sounds good. But it was just like, I love it. And I'm not, this is in no way a negative, but it was just too easy.
I really like the way it works too, is because when you see a beer, when you open the app, you get I think it's probably 15 different selections to choose from. Some are sold out. Some, most of the time they're not though. And like Tim said, you have this thing called a crate. You add the beer to the crate. And when you add it to the crate, you get charged instantly for the beer. It's not like you add beers to a shopping cart and then when you're ready to check out, you check out. No, you pay for whatever you just added right then and there. That way it's paid for and you're done. And you can change the shipping time, or you can change the length of time to fill your crate from a week to a month. I think the default's a month.
Oh, you can keep pushing it out.
Yeah, indefinitely. And then when you're ready to ship, it's a flat, I think it's $14.90 or something to ship it. And so when we got these beers, I already had 6 in my crate. So then we bought this and I added 8 more. So we're at, 14 beers in my crate and it was only still $14 to ship. So you want to utilize that shipping fee because, if you only buy 2 beers and they're still going to charge you $14 for shipping because it's a flat fee. So keep that in mind, but it's a great service.
Four Brewers is also brought to you by Sherry's Berries.
And berries the size of my Magnum dung.
We're not out here trying to promote it. It's, we like beer and they have good beer. And
you like beer. If you're listening to this podcast, you like beer. So
I think Greg's the only one that's not up on
Tavour. I have the app on my phone, but I've never actually opened it. So I downloaded it and then I got laser kittied off to something else. And I don't know what happened.
Well, you're halfway there.
I've kind of taken a break from it. They tend to focus on what's hot right now, which is hazies and pastries, which is kind of not my super jam.
I don't dig.
So it's kind of few and far between when I'm finding stuff I like, but I don't know. I've taken a few months off. Maybe I'll start.
I find they also throw in a good mix of lager and pills, depending. It's cool to try beers from different regions as far as lagers and pills go, but they're still kind of expensive. You can get 2 lagers. 2 16-ounce cans for $6 or something, or it's just
lagers on there are not a good value.
No, they're not. That's what I'm trying to get at. But
what would be cool is if you can check boxes of beer styles that you want, and you can say, hey, I want to spend $50 a month or something, and then they just randomly ship you at whatever beers that they have in stock. I would be a fan of that. Here's my money. I don't have to pay attention to it. And then I just get beers shipped to me that are interesting and something I've never tried before.
That's a good idea.
From a brewery down the street. That'd be rad.
Yeah.
Time to shop.
Carla, who is on Twitter at Beer Babe, she brought that up as far as with COVID and laws being kind of circumvented or like put on hold. I guess I don't know. Letting breweries, giving them more freedom to ship directly to consumers. And she had an idea, she's like, why don't we have this thing where there's a service that wrangles up local beers, you sign up for it, and you just get local beer. It just arrives on your door, you pay for it.
Amazing.
Same thing what you're saying, Greg. I'd be down for that too if it's like a beer of the month club concept, but it's local.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I talked about these guys before, but you remember years ago there was this, I think it was Brewery X? Or is that actually a brewery?
Yeah,
it is a brewery.
Okay, and it was something else. I can't remember what they were called, but there was these guys who I talked to them, and they had a pretty cool service. But it was basically that. It was a subscription. They got you got 6 or 12. They did like 2 cans of 2 beers from 3 separate breweries in California, and it was just whatever they chose for that month, and you'd get them delivered to your door like a subscription. Yeah. It was really cool. They had some issues and had to shut down, but still, I love that concept because it's it's dangerous, but it's less work, and it's kind of cool.
What if a beer store did like my comic book store used to, where were you guys into comics when you were kids at all, or ever?
Very lately.
So when I was young, a pretty common thing comic book stores would have is they call it a pull box. So basically, it was like, hey, if any X-Men comics come in, pull those for Jason and just set them in my box. And then I'll come in what's in my pull box and get whatever I get. Mm-hmm. What if there was I could pay La Bodega where I'm like, if any West Coast IPAs come in, just put them in my pull box. And then I'll come in every week and buy whatever's in my box. All right, did any good West Coast IPAs come in? They're like, yeah, we curated these for you. It'd be sweet.
That's not a bad idea either for on a local level for stores to implement. You don't need an app or anything. You just advertise it at the store and have people sign up and you get your pull box beers.
Probably too much work, but I don't know.
Which beer do we want to start with here?
Oh shit, we're drinking. There's one of them that's not 9% alcohol.
I'm going to start with
the Clouds. There's a Grazing Clouds.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that's 7.
No, it's the lightest one.
Grazing Clouds.
Grazing Clouds. This is a beer from Jesus. Who was
Mountain Walking?
Right? Mountain Walking. There we go.
Walking, I swear to God, I thought it said Men's Walking.
So it's Mountains Walking from Bozeman, Montana.
Oh, Bozeman.
When's the last time we had a beer from Montana?
Probably
Never.
Montucky Cold Snack. No, I feel like we've had at least one
Moose Drool?
Tavour beer from Montana.
Okay, yeah, Moose Drool.
So,
hazy.
What do we know about this from the convenient notes that they make for us? It is Columbus and Amarillo hops, and then it's double dry hopped with Waimea, Motueka, and NZ32-2. I don't know why it sounds like a science experiment, but
New Zealand experimental, maybe.
I think all of these
really nice.
I think all of these are hazy boys. So,
a couple of comments in the chat. Leninade3000 asked if every beer on Tavour is premium or they're reasonable selections for your money. They're all pretty much around the same price point. I would say
$5 to $10 per beer is your average point, and then some of the special stuff will be higher. Like I just saw they had a Jester King anniversary beer for like $16, or Deal with the Devil comes on there, it's like $50.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the most part, yeah, it's not. I don't find it more expensive than a local craft beer shop for some of the stuff. And I mean, you're talking also some stuff from other parts of the country for the price of a local IPA. So,
right.
I never really saw it. Then that was part of my problem. I'm like, oh, $4.50 for this IPA, cool, add it to the cart.
Yeah, and we're talking like single prices. So like if you see a 6-pack of something, it might be $12, but if at a local bottle shop, they'll pull that out of the 6-pack and sell that one can for $3. And it's think triple the price.
You're paying probably like a 20% premium over the regular price. Like I've seen beers on there that I can get locally, and you're paying about a 20% premium for getting it through Tavour. So
Yeah, it sounds like the idea for looking at the chat for having Jason's idea or having local beers just curated for you automatically is a pretty good idea. So if anyone's a software developer out there, get on it. Like make it
Let's
happen.
go, guys. Let's go. Four brewer curated box.
You can engage your local beer community and make beer fans happy at the same time. And yeah. So this beer, Grazing Clouds, what do y'all think of the aroma on this?
It popped out of the can when I opened it. It like from down here was like, oh, that smells nice.
Yeah, for me. I'm getting kind of that classic at this point. Wow, white cake batter, kind of candy nose on it.
It's
sort of subdued. I don't get much on the nose.
You know what's weird is when the can opened, I feel like a bunch of aroma exploded out. But yeah, I'm not getting a ton in the glass.
I get a lot of citrus and a lot of, like I said, very soft smelling vanilla-ish aromas.
That's sort of the same thing as what I taste as well. It's got this like wild honey aftertaste.
Yeah, it's got really a bit of like an earthy sweetness. I'm assuming that's what you mean by like wild honey, kind of.
Yeah,
natural sugar
earthy
kind of
sweetness.
It's
like sugar
nice.
raw.
It's not. It's definitely not. It's not over the top sweet in terms of like your fruited hazy boys and things like that.
It's sweeter than I'd prefer, but it's not overwhelmingly sweet. I think it's pretty decent.
Yeah, this is definitely more on the fuller mouthfeel, sweeter side of things. And I'm with Jason. It's fine for what it is. Would I want to buy a 4-pack of this? Maybe. It's not. It's not like it's overbearing. But
I feel like I want to start getting IPAs with a label that just says no sugar added. Like, can I get a no sugar added IPA? Like you get juice, like literally I just like, can you get one with no lactose or no fruit juice or any other, no sugar added? That's what I want. Just the sugars in the malt, please. No additional sugars. Yeah.
It also it also seems fairly mild just across the board. Yeah. Like that aroma in the beginning, Jason, like you mentioned, it was really I really strong out the can. And now even just smelling and tasting it seems fairly uneventful.
I wouldn't say it's uneventful. I mean, I get like a hop smear of like just overall citrus fruit flavors on it.
Yeah.
And it's again, it's got like a big body and it's on the sweet side, but it still has like a nice malt presence. It feels like this beer is about a year late to the party as far as hazies go, because hazies at this point I think have evolved into being more IPA-like and less sugary pastry dessert beers.
I don't know that I would say that. I mean, one could argue that these beers all being over a 4 rating on Untapped is a sign that this is kind of still where the scene is, right? Like the whole premise of this box is that everything here is a 4+ on Untapped, which is generally, if you're above a 4 on Untapped, that you're hitting pretty hard.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe in my brain, it's just something that I've come to where I think hazies are more IPA-like and more bitter and more West Coast-like than I would prefer.
I think also in terms of, a kind of uneventful might be a little bit of an overstatement, but I mean, I would not turn down a can or pint of this. It's really, I mean, it's good. It's just not blowing me away. So
it is very juicy. It is in that vein. I think to me, it's kind of reminiscent of like the Treehouse beers, where you're getting that sweet, juicy Orange Julius kind of thing, right? It's not quite full on Orange Julius, but it's definitely in that zone.
Yeah. Overall, though, I think it's worthy of its 4.02. Like they're barely 4% or a 4 rating on Untapped. Like they're just right above the line. But I think it's warranted. It's a good beer. It's only 20 IBU, which says a lot. 7%, 20 IBU. So, yeah. Overall, though, it's tasty.
And good to get to visit a brewery from Montana, not a place we get beer from very often.
Yeah.
They get quite the big beer scene there.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Montana, Wyoming. They've got mostly local beer in like the supermarkets and stuff.
Between
awesome.
Between the two states combined, the craft beer market is roughly 3,000 customers. So,
Yeah, all of them brewers.
Just trading out beers to each other.
Yeah, exactly. We don't make any money because we just trade.
It's a barter system there. They trade it for beaver pelts or whatever the fuck they're doing up in that tundra.
They're trappers.
There's some guy who's like, finally they're featuring Montana, and then I'm just coming in with the beaver pelt shit. They're like, God damn it. Can we get one mention without beaver pelts?
Spadoinkle.
All right, so I'm taking it upon myself to move on to the next beer. Next beer up on the list is Double Scatterbrain from Bearded Iris Brewing.
Nice.
A brewery I've heard of before.
I have been there.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. So they're in Nashville. Their tap room is big, dark, and a little sticky.
I know I know. That is such a good visual. Like I can totally feel myself in a place like that, where it's just like a lot of beer has been spilled over the years and they just wipe it up with an old cloth that's wet. Nothing really gets clean, but it's dry technically. But if you like put your finger on the table, it might give you a little resistance when you pull it off.
It was definitely a day where like it was rainy. You had to make sure you avoided or jumped over the puddles in their dirt parking lot. And we went in, and it was my wife, myself, and our son, and he was at least a year or two younger at the time. So we went in, and it was pretty packed, like very busy, but it was like a darker place. I don't remember it being. It was very, very moody, if you will, and pretty packed. And it took us a little while to get somewhere to sit. But even then, it was like the side bar, like the wooden bar that's like attached to the wall on the side of the tap room, and. Yeah, I mean, no dissing them because their beer is fantastic, but it was definitely like it had a little dive bar feel to it.
Yeah, dark dive bars, especially like I think of San Francisco, like Toronto and San Francisco, where it's always kind of cloudy and kind of rainy and wet, and it's dark and loud in there. I love that vibe. Like I love the rain. I love drinking in rain weather. It's just so comfortable, and you can wear a hoodie and you're nice and warm, and you can drink really good beer and listen to good music.
I think it's novel for us too, because we don't get weather. So like,
sure. Yeah.
Like you're like, wow, I'm in Oregon. It's sprinkling when I'm out in this patio. It's great. Isn't it magical?
Dude, the last time I was at True Brewing in Denver, it was downpouring, and like, that was so memorable just being because they have like an open patio.
Yeah.
One of our funnest
outside.
We went to the Strong Ale Fest at Pizza Port, me and a bunch of friends a couple years back. And it was just pouring ass rain. And it was out on a patio. And so everybody's trying to cram into the same couple little areas. And we were just like, fuck it. We just like had one person holding an umbrella, and our table's just out in the middle of this downpour. It was fun. It was a hoot.
Yeah. Rain's fun. I like rain.
Especially when you're drinking 10% beers. You warm right up.
Yeah. This is off like the subject of beer, but I have this one memory from childhood where when we lived in West Covina, we had a covered patio, and I would build a tent under that patio. Like it was just, I don't know, some sheets or whatever. And it would rain, and I would go in there and just chill in my little tent on the patio. I wasn't getting wet or anything. I would just be out there, and it's cold. Kind of like what I just described, where I got to wear like a hoodie and I was just cozy. I think of that all the time. And that I just love that feeling where it's like wet and humid and cold.
You're an adult now, Don. You can buy your own tent.
I have a tent. I just never have pitched it.
Oh, well.
Sad.
I bought it for the Homebrew Fest. I just never went.
Which is, it's not, obviously the festival's not happening this year, but there are a bunch of us that are going to go camping on the same weekend and just hang out. Obviously, safe social distance camping, but
where are you camping?
Should be good. Vale Lake in Temecula, where the fest usually is.
Okay. And you've got a trailer tent, right? Is that what you're staying?
No, we bought a new RV.
Oh, you did?
We have like a
that's right. That's right, because Aaron has a truck. That's right.
Yeah, things
about that. Yeah. So this beer from Bearded Iris, this is coming in definitely on like the clear West Coast side of things.
Not mine.
I don't know if I'd call mine clear. It's not as hazy.
It's not as
Really?
hazy as the
Can't see my
last
finger.
one.
Look at mine.
Look
Like,
at ours.
wow.
No, look at
You got-
mine.
I mean,
You got
it's
top
hard to
of
see on
the,
camera, but
Top of the flocculation there, my friend.
I guess so. I need to like roll the can around. Let's see what happens. These
Mine
have
is
been in my
cloudy AF.
fridge for 2 weeks or whatever. No, a week since we got it.
And so apparently this beer is Simcoe boil hops and dry hopped with Citra. So that's a good pedigree on hops. I like them. I
think
them
this
hops.
might might be a little bit more in Jason's wheelhouse.
It smells very grapefruity.
Yeah, it has kind of a weird, to me, a little bit of a weird fruit
It's,
aroma.
grapefruit pithiness to it for sure.
Tim, yeah, it's kind of a stinky grapefruit. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's,
Dank asparagus.
Okay, so that's not just me, right?
I gave her the old
No.
stinky grapefruit, and
It's got a little dank asparagus
A
on
little
the nose.
dank
for
asparagus
sure.
up in there.
Yeah.
I think that's accurate. Yeah, dank asparagus grapefruit.
Mods, can you change my name to Dank Asparagus?
It's like asparagus that looks like a reggae band. If you're gonna draw a cartoon.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this beer, even
no,
on the
man.
flavor,
Oh. Okay. Sorry.
even on the flavor, this beer has like that dank, not quite vegetal, but kind of borderline. Little too much hop material got into the mix. You know what I mean? It extracted a little too much from the hops, and you get that kind of vegetal vibe from it. But it's I would say fairly bitter. Plus, I don't know, and that character, that vegetal character, kind of gives it a dank feeling. I don't care for the vegetal thing though. Some people like expect it in danky beers, and I don't. I don't. want that.
John's favorite hop is Idaho.
I think this beer, it
No.
still rubs the, it's still rubbing the edges off the hops a little bit, right? Like I'm not catching as much as I'd get out of Simcoe, but a lot more hop character than a lot of hazy beers. I think this is when I drink again.
This is an all Simcoe double IPA, by the way. Just so we're clear.
I
All
will.
Simcoe with Citra double dry
Oh.
hop.
Oh, did I miss? Maybe I have the wrong link in our chat in our document.
It's all Simcoe in the boil, and then if you look on the label,
double dry hopped with Citra.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I also said this at the beginning when we opened it, but it's okay, John. I still love you.
I will. So if you look up, so when we were able to travel and we were traveling, we would go places and I'd open up Untapped and see like what's the top rated breweries in this area.
Yeah.
And Bearded Iris is one of the like most popular top rated breweries in Nashville. So I would definitely say that there's a certain edge of like local popularity to the brewery that maybe is, I don't know, I feel like boosting the rating just a little bit. But that said, like I've sampled at least 4 or 5 of their beers and they were all fantastic. So it's definitely well earned.
When I was there, I was gonna say when I was there, I went to I think Southern Grist.
Oh my god, I was just gonna say that, Jason.
And but I did not love them.
Oh no way, they were awesome.
Yeah, no, I don't remember them being that good. I was like, oh, this is kind of feels like 5 years ago. Brew pub.
I mean maybe, but like we spent actually a pretty good amount of time at Southern Grist when we were there, more than we did at Bearded Iris. And I really liked what they had. And they had a lot of, granted, Jason's favorite styles, probably not theirs, but they had a lot of fruited things like fruited sours and a lot of sort of off the wall things.
Although
I'm
not sure,
fantastic.
I'm not sure if that was before or after. I spent a whole evening doing karaoke in a trailer bar where they allowed smoking still.
Oh yeah, I think we talked about that after I got
Yeah, and so that could have fucked my palate up because being in bars where people still smoke, it really throws you off. You're like, holy shit, people just hang out in this all the time. Holy fuck.
Yeah, couple comments from the chat. We got Hopped LA saying dank asparagus and stinky grapefruit. Beer. Yeah, see, some people dig the dank asparagus. I'm not a fan.
I'm not getting all that vegetal stuff you guys are getting. I don't know.
It's just it's more of a
Give it a swirl.
Fringe.
A swirly swirl.
I mean, I'm here for the grapefruit. I love grapefruit.
I'm old
beers.
Greg.
Just old Greg got to give it
all
the
over me.
and then.
I mean, it's there. It's a fringe aroma, but it's there.
Yeah, I see a little bit of it. Yeah.
Daniel Fernandez in the chat also saying asparagus in a beer. That's because we had him on the show back in June of 2017. He actually made a beer with asparagus just to prove that you can make a beer with asparagus that's good. And I remember that beer being very good. That's season 4, episode 25 of.
Also, cool to see you in here. I don't think I've seen him hanging out too much.
I haven't seen Daniel forever.
This is like running into you at a beer fest, except for it can happen in 2021. Which
I was on Facebook.
I'd say overall, I'm liking this one a bit more than the last one. Although I feel like they kind of fall into separate. Like this feels more of what we'd expect from like a hoppier, West Coasty sort of thing, and the other one is definitely more of like the hazy boy. So I don't know that you can necessarily directly compare them, but in terms of personal preference, this is
still very low bitter. It still has that kind of little bit of a sweet back. I would say this would satisfy your average hazy boy drinker outside of the ones that are committed to the Beatus.
I got to say, mine, even after jostling the can and pouring some more, like it's
still clear.
It's still pretty. I mean, it's got like more of just like a regular hop haze on it, not like any kind of intentional haze. You know what I mean? I don't know. They got a can off the top of the bright tank.
To use like a wine reference, like old world wines tend to be a little bit more demure. Like French wines aren't as explodey. Like a Pinot Noir isn't like cherry pie as it is in Napa. You know what I mean? Whereas I get that vibe from like the breweries here. We're spoiled with great beer around like Green Cheek and Bottle Logic and stuff like that, making world class. And for me to try this, I'm just like, it's really muted. It doesn't have a lot bouncing out of the glass. It's not hit me over the head with hops. It's just okay.
Mine, I'm assuming we all got the same batch, but mine's from December 1st.
Yeah, I think they're all the same.
Okay.
Because they put the dates when you buy it. So
yeah, same. December 1st.
Worth noting, I guess these are relatively old. These are all December canned beers. So they're not like the freshiest of freshies, but if your beer can't hold up 2 months, then go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I think if you're within 3 months, you're okay. I mean, ideally within a month is perfect, I think, but yeah.
I wanna see a video of Greg talking like he just did, but like the Orson Welles thing where he's just like IPA,
the French.
Tennessee breweries making beer with California excellence.
Jason, did you ever watch The Critic?
Yeah.
Remember Orson Welles' cameos in The Critic?
Yeah, when he's eating the frozen peas.
Full of rich goodness and green penis. Wait, this is horrible. I'll just take a few more for the road.
God,
they're even better raw. Did you know apparently the original, like that Orson Welles drunk wine video, he insisted, he wrote it. Like he was like, if I'm going to be in a commercial, I'm writing all the copy and everything. But he was so bitter about having to be in a commercial. Like he was only doing it because he was basically like blackballed from Hollywood. So he was so bitter about having to do commercials where he's like, I'll do it, but I'm going to show up absolutely fucking shit-faced.
I need to drink 3 bottles before the shoot.
Got to sample the product before you endorse it, right?
That is still one of the best videos ever, though. Just Orson Welles just be like,
did you just see the final cut? The final cut is just like a beach, and it's like showing like the vineyards, and then it has them at the end, just like cheers.
It feels like they have him ADR a voiceover later, and they just don't use any of that footage at all. And
he doesn't do anything. Good.
French excellence.
That needs to be on a soundboard, by the way. It's on my. I have that on my Stream Deck soundboard, but it's not
off the topic of the show. I think there's an online soundboard. I think I brought this up before. I got to find it where any of us can actually use it.
That's dangerous.
I know, right? Maybe we should. Anyway. So I think it's time to move on to Anchorage Brewing Company.
Yes, I love this can.
It's been a while since they've been on the show, and I still have that can of Deal with the Devil chilling in here. I think whenever we get back to recording in the studio, it should be our inaugural beer. Because
is that going to hold up for another couple of years?
I guarantee it will. Yeah.
We could just set up a 4-quadrant plexi in your garage.
Greg brought that up actually, like just recording outside. I mean, I've got a big backyard. It's just next to a busy street. But I mean, if we say, hey, we're recording outside, and you might hear a car drive by or an ambulance or something, because I also live next to a fire department.
Oh. Well, it's no different than recording at a beer fest.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, if we wanted to gamble, we could just do it outside. But
once everybody gets
the effort.
Once everybody gets their vaccine, we'll do it.
Exactly.
I'm sitting here on camera with a fucking sun hat and because it's Merino Valley, right? In a month it's going to be 100 degrees for the next 9 months.
Well, I've got an easy up. Like I can accommodate it. Like it'll be fine.
We're all going to bring just like a tailgate set up for our own little section.
Jason's like, hold on, the brats are done. Here, you want one?
I'm actually growing on this idea. This is getting better. I want to bring the roadie, back it up, just fucking sit on the tailgate and fucking slam some beers.
I still can't get over the license plate, by the way.
Dude, I love it.
The
so
Rad
glad
Master.
it showed up. Yeah, man.
I saw it this morning when I dropped off some beers to you, and I'm like, man, that looks excellent in your driveway.
Thanks,
with
man.
that license plate.
Glad to hear it.
So this beer from Anchorage Brewing Company, this is 8.5% alcohol by volume, and it's double dry hopped with Vic Secret and Citra hops.
What is Vic's secret? Like,
what is his secret?
What is the secret?
Vic is short for Victoria.
The way Jason said that just tickled me.
Wait, which one? Are we doing the Anchorage one? Is that what we're at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like an Australian Victoria's Secret where Vic is a mate down at the pub.
I pictured you like you in class or something. It's a random fact. Vic is Victoria. And that's it.
Like, actually, yeah.
Oi, I don't like my parents named me Victoria.
You fucking
finally a beer I can smell. Woo.
Oh yeah, that is some
woo
dank citrus.
Eagle-eyed for Brewers listeners will note that we seem to get Anchorage in every 3 months or so. I feel like they just kind of weave into our stuff. We've never done like an Anchorage show, but they pop in every so often.
I like that.
So they do, like, I feel I don't tend to get any of their darker or like more expensive stuff. Obviously, I should point out that when I buy beer, I tend to go on the cheaper side just because I don't want to spend like $30 on a small bottle. But Anchorage has had fairly good pricing through to Vort. Shout out again. And I love how I love all of their label art. Like it's got this very cool, like illustrative heavy metal feel, even though I'm not necessarily into like the skulls and devil heavy metal style, but it's a really cool style. And I love all their cans.
Yeah, it looks pretty fucking dope. Yeah, inside of you, there are two wolves. One of them is this wolf. The other one is Dick Wolf from Law and Order. Ding, ding.
Where's the soundboard?
We just got to do I have a bass back there. I got to figure out that.
And then the clarinet comes in.
We got to do just a full Morning Zoo episode. We'll say the word knockers unironically like 25 times.
It would probably be very hard, very difficult to do like a full Morning Zoo episode because they actually put a lot of work into their obnoxious programs. You know what I mean?
It'd be like, the weekend on the Super Bowl last weekend. You know what it needed in that Super Bowl halftime show? Knockers. Yeah, that's right, knockers.
It just reminds me of Family Guy when Stewie had a morning radio show, and it was just like 5 minutes of nothing but sound effects.
Yeah, man. You just gotta go fully unhinged. I will say the head on this beer, I poured it a little while ago, and it's just hanging on like a fucking meringue. Look at that.
It's floaty.
That's always a good sign with hazy IPAs. Definitely.
It's pronounced hazy IPA.
Because I think when you see a head burn off really quick on a hazy, you might get the same kind of feeling on the back of your throat where it could burn, and it's just that's not always true, but it's just something that I notice. Like it's if you can't create good foam on your beer and make it last, that says a bit about what you're going to experience when you drink the beer.
I agree.
That being said, I'm kind of getting some hot burn off this beer.
It's just 8.5, which is up there. It's not a huge alcohol bomb by any means. I don't get like a booziness, but there is some inherent sweetness associated with that. But it's not over the top. It's kind of like, I'm not a huge IPA guy. I mean, double IPA guy, and I'm not a huge hazy guy. But this is quite enjoyable. I think the aromatics, it's nice and citrusy. It's hard to place any other fruit in there. Like, it's kind of smeared a little bit, but it's very pleasant, and I don't get much burn off of it.
I don't really get burn either. Are you talking about like on the flavor, Jason, like in the back of your, like, or going down your throat? Like,
yeah, like the back of the palate, it's got kind of a harshness. It could be just the booze. Might be just because it's hot, but yeah, I don't know. Something about this beer is not sitting right with me. Maybe I came in with too high expectations because I love Anchorage, but I don't know. There's something in that flavor that's just fucking with me, and I'm having a hard time describing it.
I can see something being weird in the flavor that I can't quite pick up on, but I don't get any kind of burn or booze on the flavor or on the aroma. For me, it's coming off very soft, great mouthfeel with a decent amount of dryness, so it's not lingering. Bitterness, I think, is balanced with how sweet it is, but I don't get any kind of burn. That's I
mean, I think if anything, Jason, like you said, back of the palate, like back of the tongue, maybe a little bit of something going on there.
To me, it's almost like the soft palate right in the back of the roof, where the roof of your mouth kind of becomes the soft part there. It's like I'm getting like a burn right there. That again, it doesn't just seem like alcohol burn, but maybe it is.
Maybe I'm also pulling some like pineapple, a little bit of like a smoked pineapple.
Yeah, that's actually a good pull. I think like a grilled kind of caramelized pineapple or smoky. Yeah, I like that.
I think this beer is great. It's got a 4.17 on Untapped, and I think that's completely warranted. It's a good example of a very well made hazy IPA that isn't like on the pastry side, the sweet cake side, or is like on the like super big bitter West Coast side. It's right in the middle. I like it.
Yeah, I will say this beer is not sweet. I would not describe this beer as sweet in any way. Where I would describe the last two as kind of sweet. Yeah.
I think this beer is it's got a ample amount of sweetness on it. Definitely. Like I can feel it lingering in the middle of my tongue. Like it's definitely got some sweetness body to it. Maybe that's the alcohol that I'm experiencing, but it's not like a cloying sweetness. But it's a lasting kind of sweetness vibe I get.
It's there compared to your standard like all hop bitter IPA. There's definitely, like, if you want to just compare that, there is definitely some sweetness. But not like the last couple where it was, these are definitely sweet.
Yeah, especially the first one we had from
Mountains walking.
yeah, that was again, I think it was more 1 year ago hazy, but
Well, and again, I think it was on the kind of creamier side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that gives you much more of a perceived sweetness too. Not like that Dogfish beer, which is just fucking milky. It's too milky.
Which one's that?
The other thing is that's different too is how you poured your beer versus how I poured mine. You gave yourself a full pour where you had a nice thick rich head, and I didn't. I just lightly poured it in. So maybe you're getting a lot more of the alpha acids or something in the foam that are fucking with you a little bit.
Yeah,
just theorizing.
The foam can tend to be more like acrid
More
and bitter than the actual beer itself. That's a good point, Greg.
Look at Greg, that genius over there.
I tell you,
he knows his shit.
I had a shower thought this morning. If you bought a can of DBA from Firestone Walker, and if you're going to shotgun it, you would put 2 holes in the can because it's a double barrel ale.
So you'd want to double barrel it into your gullet.
That's right.
Not a bad idea.
Do they can that beer, or is it in bottles?
Yeah, I've seen it in cans.
Do they still make that beer?
But a double barrel is
they do
a shotgun, right? So
I had an idea.
Wait, but do they put DBA in cans still?
I don't.
I think at the brewery.
Okay.
So I had an idea the other day. You know how there's a new Godzilla and King Kong movie coming out?
Yep.
Yes.
It feels like Godzilla's got like a nuclear reactor and he can shoot laser beams out of his mouth. So it seems like kind of an unfair fight because King Kong is just a monkey. But what if King Kong had a gun? And then I was like, okay, you just take like 2 sewer pipes, you like strap them together. You take like a 55-gallon drum full of half gunpowder, half bowling balls. You make like, some sort of trigger mechanism, but then Godzilla or King Kong has got a double-barreled shotgun, and I feel like that would really equalize the fight between King Kong and Godzilla if King Kong had a gun.
You're more or less describing one of those big potato guns.
Yeah, but it's a shotgun, but just a giant-sized shotgun.
I think Godzilla would still win because he would breathe fire on the trash cans or whatever, and then they would just explode before he actually.
But maybe he gets gun. Maybe he circle strafes him and he gets a shot off and blasts Godzilla at his dubby thick ass or whatever.
I feel like this is residuals from Jason watching Jimmy Eat World play the album Clarity last night while that looks like he was on the fucking moon.
John's like mind is blown that I got like a little ceiling light show thingy.
I know, I liked how it looked. I thought it was cool and it fit like that. The picture you put in the Discord looked very cool, like with the light. It was almost like you were at the concert.
Honestly, I kind of started geeking out in the last couple songs, and I was like trying to predict what colored lighting they would do, and I was changing my little light thingy to go with it. So I was like, Sky Harbor is definitely going to be sky colored, so I did like blue and white, and it was cool. It was fun.
The hue bulbs, my studio in here is every light bulb is a hue bulb, and when I'm watching video on the PC, it can basically control the bulbs, and you have to tell Hue where they are in the room, and it will, whatever is showing on the TV, it will make the lighting in the room match that to a certain extent, and it works very well. They even have like an inline HDMI controller that you plug into, like say you have an Apple TV, you plug it into the Hue controller, and then you go into your TV from there. And if you have Hue bulbs like in the room, it will control everything through that controller. It works really good. It's a cool experience. So yeah, doing that during a concert would actually be pretty cool.
When I was doing when I started doing the like random electronica DJ streams on the weekend, one of the people in the chat was like, "Hey, I have this thing and it's like $30 and I can run it off of a USB battery pack. So I can put it wherever I want and it'll run for like I ran it for like 8 hours off the battery pack, and it didn't even lose like one notch. It barely takes any power.
What does it do?
It's just a little light thing that projects light onto the ceiling, and there's like a laser thing, and there's different colors and stuff, and it just gives you that kind of like concert lighting effect. And it was like $30. So I was like, screw it.
Cool. I like how. Oh, sorry.
Try to key this up with Jimmy Eat World.
I like how in the current age we all have to be our own lighting techs for concerts now.
That's right. I'm sitting out there with a fucking snare drum, like doom, doom, doom. That's not a snare. That's like a floor tom.
Yeah, that was a tom for sure.
Yeah.
Can I get more bass in the mix? Thanks.
More vocals. I can't hear
Can
myself.
I get more me in the mix?
God, how many times have I said that?
Can I be in this?
Like, I just can people hear me, please?
Hello, please.
Jimmy Eat World has like a crazy looking guy that plays their keyboard guitar stuff.
I saw that guy.
He's just got like giant red hair, but he's bald and like a giant red beard, and he just looks insane. Like he looks like he was on ayahuasca and just got told he had to be at a Jimmy Eat World concert.
The dude plays guitar, keyboards, and he does background vocals like harmonies, and he's great. He's like he's like a Swiss Army knife musician. He's great.
Was he playing? But was he only playing keys for Jimmy Eat World?
No, he did all three. Yeah, he was mixing it all up.
Okay, because my prediction is that in the day of like the like poppy emo bands, like the keyboardist just doesn't really have anything to do. If anybody, you guys know Motion City Soundtrack?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw them live a couple of times, and their keyboard is just like, he does handstands on his like keyboard because he just has nothing to do. He's just like, he plays a couple of keys during the chorus, or during like some of the verses, and then like while there's actually singing, he's not doing shit. So he's just like head banging and like doing handstands on his keyboard. I'm just like, you obviously have nothing to do right now.
We had a keyboard player in Better Luck Next Time for a few years. Joseph John is his name, and he is, for the record, an excellent musician. Like that dude, as far as my musical ability and his, he was like on another planet. Like he downgraded when he moved to our band, but the dude found a way to make keyboards work in every single part of the song, even like the parts where it was just basically like a verse where, power chords were playing. He would have something like a flourish happening that wasn't standing out, that gave him something to do during the songs. And I think that's the key, where it's just when you cut things out entirely, what are you going to do? Handstands on your keyboard. Like, it's like the violin player from Yellow Card. Like or
except he does backflips off the amp stacks.
Yeah, that's the lengths you have to go to entertain people during your downtime.
I'm still part of the band. Look at me.
Where I'm a lead guitar player, and all I have to do is like play what Brian's playing, and I'm good. And then I can play my leads and go back to playing rhythm. So,
have you seen the newer like tech metal bands and stuff? Like the guys that do these like really weird, crazy guitar sounds and stuff. Like they're up on stage with like a full laptop. Like the guitarist is sitting there and he's like, all right, now I'm going to go to my laptop. I got to do this. And they're like playing loops and shit. Like it's pretty fucking intricate. The stuff.
Much respect for that, but
yeah,
God damn, what a pain in the ass. I mean, as I've played hundreds of shows, and if I had to go through that every single time, no fucking way. It's just not worth it. It's too much work.
So do we have beer left?
We've moved on to this next one.
Yeah, the next beer we're moving on to is called Inland Times. It's from Casita Brewing Company.
Where are they from? They are from, I have it up here,
North Carolina.
Collab
from Wilson, North Carolina. And Untapped says that this is a collaboration with Resident Culture, which is out of Charlotte.
Nice.
Okay. All right.
This beer is 8.7 alcohol by volume, and
it smells so good.
I wasn't expecting that smell.
Very tropical fruit.
The lime. There's like, it's supposed to be like a hazy IPA, lime lager sort of.
Let's see.
Like mashup.
Yeah, it says on Untapped, it's a beer brewed with Pilsner malt, flaked corn, dextrose, and the hops are Citra, Sabro, and Motueka.
Sabro.
And Pacific Sunrise. What's Pacific Sunrise?
And lime.
Oh,
the lime
Sunrise.
stands out.
They also apparently
brewed.
They brewed the entire batch on flaked corn and a added skosh of Pilsner. Wait, what? Like you just like poured a dash of Pilsner? Like did everyone in the brewery just come in and be like,
there you go, bro.
I gave you the rest of mine. I was done.
Maybe they mean a skosh of Pilsner malt. Like just a little Pilsner.
Oh shit! Yeah, that makes more sense. Actually,
it's such an interesting take on a beer that should be 4.5% with lime and a pinch of salt or something around the rim.
This is an interesting one.
8.7, and like you couldn't session a bunch of these, but I guess you could.
The aroma comes off really like it has a really bright citrus sort of thing to me. Definitely it had a touch of sweetness, but I'm getting a lot of like I want to put it in a pineapple sort of range. I know it has lime, but the sweetness mixed with the citrus gives me more of a pineapple feel.
It took me without reading the ingredients, I was trying to place it. I was like, is that lime or is that like what is that? Or maybe it was some weird tropical fruit. Like I just couldn't put my finger on it.
This smells like I often use this when I describe beers that are made with citrus fruits, but like when you like with an orange or a lime, if you like crack it open with your fingers and like little juices squirt out and you smell that freshly cracked citrus, that's what this comes off like. It's a very well done lime nose.
It's like they squeeze like when you get a cocktail and they take the a peel and they express the oils out of it. That's the sort of lime vibe I get. I have a really nice lime tree in my backyard, and whenever I pick them off the tree, like my hand smells like that because they're so oily.
This beer is cool as fuck. I just drank it and it's very interesting.
It's a good wow,
so different.
You know what's funny is this was on the edge. We were like, well, if we have this other one, we'll cut this one, and I'm so glad we drank this. This is really cool.
Yeah, it does not taste like you smell the amount of lime that's on the nose, and you expect this kind of citrusy, maybe borderline acidic flavor, and it's not that at all. Like
it has a vague reminder to like a lime, like I'm getting a vague reminder to a Pilsner packed with lime, but then you get all these other elements from more of the hazy IPA zone.
Yeah, that's a good call.
And I think getting the citrus in there gives it that bite you're used to out of like a proper West Coast IPA where you still have like kind of a sharp flavor up front, but it's the citrus instead of the hops. And then the beer, I like the malt character with the Pilsner malt and dextrose that they put in there is pretty light. But it still has kind of some of the smoothness of like a hazy IPA. They pulled off something kind of really cool here.
Yeah, this is like a weird mutant beer, like some kind of like hybrid thing where you smell it and it smells like it doesn't smell like a typical hazy. It's definitely the lime stands out the most, but it comes off like, okay, this is going to be hoppy, this is going to be citrusy on the flavor, and then you taste it and it's a hazy IPA that is pretty well balanced. And I think the dextrose they added is probably in there to dry it out, and it does finish fairly dry. It's not like overwhelming on your palate, and being almost 9%, I'm getting no booze on it, no alcohol, nothing.
Yeah, it seems to go down real easy.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of like a lime gelato, like an Italian ice cream. Not like sherbet. Sherbet's a little sweeter.
Yeah, it has the creamy.
Gelato is more, it's like a more creamy, a more expressive fruit expression. It's very nice. Interesting beer. Good on them. When collabs go well.
Yeah, I mean, this is a difficult beer to describe. It's kind of, I think it leans more on the flavor towards like a more pastry hazy IPA, but it's not like super citrus forward on the flavor, just on the nose.
It's also not too sweet. It's not too like cloyingly sweet. Like
again, that's why I think the dextrose is in there to kind of dry things out and thin it out a little bit.
It's definitely, I mean, I still stand by the fact that it's like a hazy boy and a lime pilsner just like got slammed together.
Yeah, it totally is. Yeah. Like you take one of the Mexican lagers with lime and a hazy IPA, and you take all those elements and somehow make it work.
Yeah,
it sounds like if you describe that to me, I'd be like, that sounds like a fucking disaster.
Yeah,
but this beer actually works. It's really good. Crazy son of a bitches, you did it.
They did it.
Inland Times, and as a resident of the Inland Empire, all of my times are Inland Times. So,
overall, what do you guys think of these beers? We only did 4 of the 6, but I think I'm going to start. I think they're all worthy of 4+ ratings on Untapped. They were all good in their own ways.
Mm-hmm.
I think my least favorite was the Grazing Clouds, I think, but not that there was anything wrong with it. I think Inland Times, though, was probably the best as far as being interesting and well executed. But everything was pretty good overall.
I think the Inland Times and the Double Scatterbrain were way up here compared to the other 2 beers. The Anchorage Torn just had some. Again, there's something off about that beer that I couldn't really place. And the Grazing Clouds was just too creamy and too milky for me. I wouldn't rate that a 4, and I didn't rate it a 4. I checked it in at like a 3.5. It's too creamy for me. Again, it's like, do you like coffee or do you want to just put milk in it?
Yep, totally.
I tend to agree with what Jason was saying. This last one we had now, the Inland Times, is for sure top of my list. I think they all are good in their own respect. I went through a phase where all I got were New England IPAs and hazy IPAs, and I think I've been burnt off of those for quite a while now. And so I think it's a little bit of a handicap from my side against the Grazing Clouds. I think it was good in terms of what it was, but just not my preference at the moment.
Yeah, for me, I think the Grazing Clouds, if we would had it maybe fresh, 2 months should still be in that fresh zone, but for me, it just didn't get anything off of it. By far, this lime thing is wow. I haven't been wowed by a beer in a long time, and this definitely
it's just clever. It's clever and original.
It works in like the dumbest way. Like I see where they're going. Brewers tend to drink, light lagers and, somebody who drinks a lot of Pacifico with lime and stuff like that. I go down to Mexico all the time and that's what we're drinking. And to have a hazy IPA version of that really is like, all right, I'm down.
And to be so drinkable at nearly 9%, like,
yeah, that's my only complaint. It could be the same beer at 7.5. It could be the same beer at 6.5. Like, it doesn't need to be that high.
If you could combine the same flavor profile and like lower the ABV down to something that's a little more manageable, I think that this would be a more, a couple a day sort of.
Yeah, right. I'm not going to drink more than one.
At 7%, this would be like a fridge staple, this for sure. If I could get this all the time at 7%, I would. Why wouldn't I have
crush it? Yeah.
Why wouldn't I have it in my fridge all the time?
Yeah. It reminds me of all those like really way too smooth drinkers. I mean, it takes me back to one of the first times I had. I know, well, obviously, like Bourbon County's in that EU list now, but back when like the first time I had Bourbon County and I was like, oh, this is really good. It's all like, caramely and dark and delicious.
Yeah.
And I drink like half my glass and then I'd be like, oh, this is like 13.5%. Fuck.
Yeah. I think Bourbon County has kind of come around actually, you brought them up. It took 5-6 years, but the scale that they're putting out beers is, they've met that accomplishment. But yeah, again, I think the Inland Times was one of the best ones here. I love the Anchorage Torn, and again, just to wrap things up, Tavor, if you want to check it out, we all have
John,
invite codes. And,
John, we have a referral code. You should put yours in the show notes.
Yeah, I'll put my referral code in the show notes, and I'll get free beer. So yeah,
do that, and then we can use that beer for the show. It's like subscribing to Patreon,
or we can put all 4 codes, and then we'll see who everyone likes better. Your favorite brewer, and donate.
Put the code of your favorite brewer, dude. Oh, Just another reason for me to be depressed when I check my phone.
All right. This double scatterbrain on Untapped, someone did a foam vagina photo.
I take it we're done recording at this point.
Yeah, it can stop.
John, you always say this. You're like, I think this looks like a pussy.
No,
that's what happens when you do a slow pour. That's what happens.
Dr. Bill does it intentionally. Like it's a thing. I'm telling you.
That's creepy.
Look at it. I mean,
no,
it is creepy, and I don't do it. But there's some people that like to do that. So.
All you have to do is slow pour it down the middle.
And I'll fuck this beer later. You guys get out. You guys get out of here.
Drink it. So
or if you guys don't get out of here, I'm gonna fuck this beer one way or the other. So it's up to you.
I don't like that voice. That's my least favorite voice.
Make your choice, guys.
I feel very uncomfortable now.
Comfortable. We shouldn't be recording anymore, right?
Yeah, we're done. Yeah, we're done.
Oh, well, I recorded all that. So
intro.
Put that in the bonus, the B-roll.
Yeah, that'll be on the B-roll on the outro. Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
So I didn't get my vaccine.
Sucks, man.
Yeah. They told me I qualify under 1B tier 2.
Did you actually try and make an appointment, or did you just go?
I had an appointment. Yeah.
Yeah. See, you don't make, from what I hear, you don't make an appointment. You just fucking go.
Well, in Riverside, that's not how it works.
Well, you got to come up to LA County, bro.
If you show up without an appointment, they're like, bye.
I mean, my brother-in-law and his wife, they just rolled into Dodger Stadium, and they're in no way in any tier possible. And they both. I'm
glad they're vaccinated, but don't do that.
See, you can't say that, because I understand the prioritization, but if the county is not going to make sure that they use all the doses that they thaw out for the day and just throw that shit out, then
that's of course, yes, I agree. They shouldn't be wasted,
but it's okay, because LA County is out of doses until Tuesday.
Yeah, they shut down the Dodger Stadium thing for a week, right?
Yep. Well,
around here, I don't know how other people are getting it, because it feels like it's still all elderly only. All the stuff I see. Well, if you're over 65, you can get it. And I'm like, I'm not.
Well, you're San Bernardino County, and I don't know. I'm only looking at Riverside County. Riverside County is pretty in depth. I check the website every day, probably, 7 or 8 times a day, just to see.
A lot of treads out there, so they're probably like, I ain't getting no damn vaccine.
I'm surprised Riverside County is even vaccinating people.
Right?
Why would you say that?
Sheriff Chad Bianco burned all the vaccines.
Oh yeah, well fuck him. But yeah, no. Riverside actually has their shit together.
I'm being a jerk. Sorry.
No, Chad Bianco's a piece of shit. You're right. I saw him the other day. Leaving a certain courthouse. He was not wearing a mask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I got my Pliny mask, by the way.
I saw that. That was hot.
Put it on, dude.
Was it printed upside down on purpose?
No, I had it on upside down.
Okay.
I can't tell. We have these denim masks. I'm like, I don't know which side goes up and down, because they don't have. It's not like a nose. There's no nose guard to it.
Yeah, you can't. Really
I stopped wearing cool masks, and I bought a 60-pack of KN95s, and that's what I wear now. So
good call. I'm just doubling up on the cloth.
I use both. Yeah. So I have the good one, the KN95, and then have a festive one over it.
That's cool. Tom Ham, kind of friend of the show. I wish he'll be on. I hope he'll be on one day. He works for a certain company that provides internet access to people, and they gave him 3 N95s. So he has to use. He does the same thing. He doubles up with an N95 and then a cloth or a surgical mask on top of that, just to spread it out. But I bought a 60-pack and charged it to my company and said, "There you go." It was $70 for 60 masks. So
I want to make Sarah try this Inland Empire beer. Inland Times.
Is she willing to come in and give her a
Modern Times
opinion on it?
Can you just yell for her?
I am.
Is she camera ready? Probably not.
I messaged
You gonna text her?
I told her we're chatting, but we're not recording. We'll see if she comes in. I'm checking the old comments, see if there's stuff we missed. Lemonade mentioned Hazy O. That was the shitty milky beer. Yes, that was like an hour ago.
Yeah, let us. What are your opinions on that beer, Jason?
It was milky as fuck. It like was just very.
Didn't it come off
creamy.
very malty and like kind
It
of
was coconut milk.
chewy?
It just came off very creamy, and I didn't care for that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't drink another one.
Same.
Do you like it better than Sierra Nevadas or Firestones?
No, it was worse than both.
Really? Okay.
I don't love either of those beers. I guess Mind Haze I drink more than
Mind Haze is really
isn't
good.
bad.
Like
Yeah.
a fucking 6-pack of Mind Haze is $8. You cannot beat that. That's
so
great.
is Luponic, and it's a better beer.
Oh,
She's
true.
gonna kill you.
Did anybody? I assume none of you guys went for the Firestone Reserve Society or whatever.
$600. Nope.
I mean, that seems reasonable for their beers.
I mean,
That's
I don't spend that much.
Beer club.
Yeah, it is.
I want to buy a new camera lens for my camera, so I'm gonna take that
Sure.
$600 and do that.
I don't
Yeah.
even know if I mean, obviously I spend $600. I'd probably spend like $3,000 on beer a year, but I don't want $600 of that to be just
Roped
one
in.
brewery.
Yeah.
I've got
And be like,
$600
"Here's
of
all this
Firestone
beer."
beer in my closet over there that I'm not drinking, so I'm not gonna
Yeah,
buy more.
exactly.
Exactly. That's a fair point.
Yeah, we should do a parabola show or something.
Fuck right.
Okay, hold on.
Sarah comes in like the Kool-Aid man.
Somebody.
Just kick the door. That'd be awesome as fuck, actually.
That door is like thinner than like as fragile as uncooked pasta. It would just like crumble.
It's thinner than a zigzag.
Yeah.
Dude, I read a whole article. A friend of mine like, check it out. This article about the raw rolling papers guy, and is like, this dude just fucking loves rolling papers. Apparently, that's his thing. He's like, when I was a kid, my dad used to do these tricks where he would set a rolling paper on fire and be like, magic. And he's like, I fucking love rolling papers. And this guy's devoted his life to rolling papers. I'm like, this is crazy.
Does he
Good to have.
use them for anything?
I mean,
smoking?
smoking weed. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he does. Okay, good. All right.
But it's like the guy from the weed rolling papers, like, has been obsessed with rolling papers for 30 years. Is like, you know what? Good for him.
When I used to smoke marijuana, or dabble in marijuana, like I think smoking a joint was the worst experience ever. Like it gets like soggy and it burns. And I smoked cigarettes for 10 years with a filter on a cigarette, but like it's obviously not the same as that. But it was not fun. It grosses me out thinking about it. Ugh.
I never fucked with that.
Yeah,
Never done it.
do not recommend.
Sarah,
Sarah, what do you think of the Inland Times?
Is that what I'm drinking?
Yes.
I think so.
It's good. It's very good.
Did Jason tell you anything about the beer?
No, he said, come get some beer. We're not recording anymore.
We're still on the internet, but
Hello, internet.
13 people are watching you and judging you. No, they're friends. It's Kyle, it's Lemonade. It's, it's our crew.
so just so Sarah knows, it's a beer made with Pilsner malt, flaked corn, dextrose, sugar, and Citra, Sabro, and Motueka hops, and whatever. I guess Pacific Sunrise is also a hop.
It's a New
And
Zealand
lime.
hop. Yeah.
Okay, I guess we addressed that on the show. So yeah, it's made with lime too.
I don't think we did address it on the show. We were just like, what is that? And then we moved on.
So it's a New Zealand
Googled
hop.
it, but I didn't say anything.
It's a New Zealand hop. Pacific Sunrise, known for its lemon and clementine citrus.
Oh, that might add to it. I
Notes.
could see that.
I'm absolutely getting lemon for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. Clementine.
Oh, Clementine. Yeah. You can really smell the Pacific Sunrise.
I think there's actual lime in there as well.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that would explain it. Yeah.
Right.
It's very tasty.
I gotta.
Oh
I
my
gotta take off,
god! Now you got
guys.
this stuck in my head. You got a jam?
Yeah, I gotta take off. But That was pretty good. Yeah, the Inland Times was bomb, so I'm gonna finish that one.
That beer ruled.
And then take
That
a
was
nap.
really good.
Again,
That sounds like a good plan too.
somehow having no headphones this whole time has always been an option. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm just gonna whisper to you.
Sounds
you
like
still
you
hear
don't
me?
fucking dare.
Just wear the
Jason.
headphones, please.
Jason, your ears are so beautiful.
Hey, baby girl.
Just show me those ears.
Get your BA.
I want to see those lobes. Yeah, there we go.
Those lobes.
Wow.
Move that
Let me see
hair.
your ear knockers.
See you guys. Take it easy.
Your fuzzy
Bye,
ear
Tim.
knockers.
Bye.
Let's get to them ear knockers.
Show me them ear knockers, them lobes, baby. You got nice ear lobes.
Mhm.
What you doing tomorrow's Valentine's? Can I touch your ear lobes, sugar?
Weirded out.
Just squeak them like nips.
What?
What else was good on the show?
Doing it in Tokyo.
I like this guy, the Dibble Scatterbrain. It's probably a little warm for your taste right now, but
What's the other beers? Because I need something that's going to wash away all this haze crap. All this
There's,
crappy hazy.
The mistaken beer that they sent Greg, I think, was a black lager instead of the one Tim wanted.
Dude, I'm going to crack that right now.
It's in
I
the
think
silver. It's a silver can.
so I had some sort of fruited sour in my Tavor pile, and I don't remember buying it. I don't know if they
Again, I think they fucked up the last beer because we got something. I got something else. It was wrong, and I'm like, I'm not going to hit them up.
but I got that one, the Blue Sky beer, the Nothing But Blue Sky. I got that one.
Oh, okay.
I'll be right back.
I will also be right back because I have to use the bathroom. So talk amongst yourselves.
And now it's just me and Jason.
Yeah, it's just us. But I got this Hydra fruited sour fucking beer.
What's that?
I got this fucking beer. It's a Hydra fruited sour.
I did not get that. Yeah, I got like a black lager or something.
Oh wait, I think I maybe bought that.
Hail
That
Hydra.
might be me.
Considered Hail Hydra.
Like me and Yvonne went through the packing list, and I'm like, okay, they did not send the correct beers. And it was, I think it was some kind of hazy thing. So a black lager mistaken for like, I'll take the black lager. Like that just sounds better to me. So I'm not disappointed.
Look at my head. Look at my head. Da, 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 look at my head.
You're going to hear the feedback.
Yeah, I know it's weird. What's up, guys? I don't know what to do with my hands.
Man, it's looking for you. Here she is, man. Where is she? Just move.
Hi. How are you?
Good. I think you guys gonna be home for a little while.
Cold to sit outside.
Wow.
You guys.
Huh? Yeah, it's probably meal. We lose Jason.
I think temporarily. Yeah, this is the beer I got instead of.
That's what I just poured.
So I was stoked about it, like a Wayfinder Black Lager.
See, that's what I was talking about. Like if I could subscribe to Tavor and then have them just ship me random lagers, I'd be all about that.
Welcome to Lagerbox.
That's a good name, Lagerbox. It rolls off the tongue. Lager box. What's in your lager box?
Capital One probably sue you for that.
That looks nice. This camera
pours out very
rules.
brown.
Little bit of roast on the nose. That's nice.
A little sulfur.
You get sulfur? Really?
Yeah, just on the first whiff.
What are you drinking?
This is the beer they sent to me mistakenly.
That black lager?
Yeah.
You guys both got it? Wow.
Well, I gave it to Greg because I got 2.
Wow.
So
weird.
Greg didn't order.
Wow.
That's what I dropped off at his house.
Well, I will sign up for Tavor and get some shit going.
Tavour.
Tavor.
It's a great option for us if we want to do an easy show where they have like a mix pack.
If we all have it, I could holler it and be like, hey, there's a good beer on there right now. We all should get it.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, earlier today, a Jester King 10th anniversary beer, and it says, Secret Stash, thanks for being awesome.
Dang.
On Tavor?
Yeah. Okay. I don't fucking know. Not happening. But either way, there's a little banner on there that's like, hey, you only get this because you're like a Tavor fucking mega member or some shit. And
yeah, I've got it too. Yeah.
But I bought it like an hour ago or like just before we started the show. And then while we're on the show,
it's sold out. Wow.
Steve B in our Discord was like, oh shit, the Jester King one sold out. I was like, oh damn, sold out.
It's
quick.
Spawn. Yeah, I get it. That's a great beer. Wow,
Spawn's great.
5.6 for a Belgian Goose style ale. That's awesome.
Belgian Goose?
Belgian Geese.
Honk.
Braxton's on there. I've never heard of Phase 3. A beer called Chrome, minus the H. Frame, Vienna Lager. All right, so this is a good example. Frame Vienna Lager. This, I would say, I can get this locally. I'm not looking at the price, but I'm going to say I'd pay for at Gerard's.
They're like $3.
Yeah, I would say $3 to $4, right? On Tavor, it's $7 for one bottle.
For a lager? Wow.
If you can't get it locally, I would say $7 is a decent markup because it really is. It's a good beer. But if you can get it locally, then you're wasting your money because it's overpriced.
They always have a markup.
Of course, yeah. Black Project's on there.
I'm to the point in my beer drinking where there's so many breweries I've never heard of, and I think this is a good way for me to get re-familiar with places I've never heard of.
That's a big thing for me, right? When we were doing the show, I feel like I was doing Tavor shows when we were in person a bunch, and it was just more like we're always getting the same Southern California breweries, and as fun as it is to feature Beechwood and fucking El Segundo and Highland Park every fucking week.
Repetitive.
Yeah, it's repetitive, and it's also all local, right? And I'm trying to get beer from everywhere else. And
what's funny is, that being said, we should go back to Beechwood and El Segundo because we haven't done them in a while, I think.
I mean, if we could ever go anywhere again, that'd be sweet. But yeah, it's a good way for me to be like, let's try beers from all over the country without relying on our listeners to spend their own money to send me beer, right?
Right. Yeah.
I appreciate when people do that, but it's pretty rare, and rightfully so.
Oh, wow. They had an other half trio on here that I missed. Forever Nelson IPA, Double Space Cut Imperial IPA, and Space Diamonds Imperial IPA. So it was 1, 2, 3 cans for $20. That's not bad.
Dude, I tried that Lost Abbey lemon thingy from the EBF box.
Oh, right. Greg said it was very ATHP. Cheerios.
It wasn't very
Oh,
good.
it was very. It was ATHP as fuck.
Not great.
Mousy cereal, like harsh Cheerios. I gave it to my wife, and she's like, "Ew."
Well,
It looked sick too. Like it looked
swing and a miss.
It looked sick. You know what I mean? It would had a haze with it was dark in the center.
Yeah, I drank it in the dark, but I had it while I was watching that concert yesterday. But yeah, it was not great.
It's been a while since I had a good Lost Abbey beer.
Good.
Tavor has a KCBC 6-pack, which I don't know where you guys stand on that brewery.
What is it?
Kings County?
Kern?
They are Kings County Brewers Collective.
I've had a couple beers from them and they were shit.
Okay, never mind then. 6-pack for $38. They've got cool labels, and I think that's what moves their product. But yeah, my experience with them has been similar to Jason. Not good.
I'm trying out that Liquid Gravity brewery for the first time right now.
Oh.
Nice.
Where are they from?
San Luis Obispo.
Okay.
The main reason I bought this was because they did Alpine collab.
Alpine? Okay, McElhaney.
Okay. Yeah.
Michelini, welcome to Alpine, California. They did a mixed 4-pack where they collabed with 4 breweries throughout the state. It was Michelini, Rip, Slice, and Faction.
Damn. That's a collab right there, dude.
Wow, dude. Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
good on McElhaney starting his own thing, because what little authenticity and good vibes they brought to Green Flash is now obviously crap.
It was squandered.
And I think
definitely.
it was just done. But McElhaney's back to his old stuff.
I find 9-month-old Nelson at Stater Brothers now.
Yeah. Slice Beer Company. Joe Senegalia has he's friends with, I think, the owner of Slice, and I nudged him. I'm like, hey, if you can have him send us some Slice, that'd be dope. But that has yet to happen. Joe sent me some Slice. Or no, when we last met up, he gave me some Slice beers, and they are excellent. They're really good at making like IPA, hazy IPA, like the gamut of beers. They're awesome. So for them to collab with McElhaney, like that collab sounds pretty dope. Slice is legit.
Slice.
Watch Joe's videos, because like he pumps them up quite a bit, and like even though he's friends with the guy, like I think he's honest with his beer reviews. And Slice sounds like
I mean,
really
even if you're friends with dudes, like if their beer sucks, it's like you're not going to tell the world about it.
Honestly, if I know a dude who makes beer who gets mad when you hear constructive criticism about the beer, I don't want to be friends with that guy.
Yeah.
Like, dude, all I ever wanted when I was brewing was like, can somebody please tell me anything but, wow, this is really good? Because it's not. I tasted it and I know it's not. So can you please help me figure out what's wrong with it? And they're
that's where Matt Becker would shine on the show, because the dude knows a lot about beer, and he's got a fucking awesome palate, and he would destroy your beer. Like, not to shame you, but to, just say this is where you fucked up.
Criticism.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to art school, and like part of that is the critiquing, and there's an art form to critiquing that's being like, the composition could be this or could be that, or ways to improve, how to help you get better.
Yeah.
And would you say it's the tiki room?
Every time when Matt was on a show that he got to try one of my homebrews, and he gave me positive feedback. Like, that was like, okay, all right, I did it right. Because like I said, the dude, again, knowledge is one thing, but having a great palate is like another level. And Matt's really, really good at.
I'm kind of excited to start brewing again. I want to start working on low ABV beers, like 3 to 4% session stuff to have on tap.
I'm gonna sell off my gear, so if anybody wants to get a kegerator or a fridge or a freezer,
my brewery's just sitting out there. But
yeah,
I need
not
to
for you,
do
but
plumbing in the
people
garage.
listening, if you guys want a bunch of ball lock kegs, do you want a 4-tap kegerator with all the taps installed?
I mean, Jason, now that you technically, I mean, do you own your house? Like, is it your house? Like, why not like try to get back into it and like do some built-in customizations?
Install a brewery.
Yeah, why not?
Because I made bad beer.
No, you didn't make bad beer. You just think you made bad beer. Like I made
beer.
It's not about making good beer, quote unquote. Like obviously you want to make good beer, but it's more about like the process and making it and stuff.
I stopped enjoying it.
It's like you can't make like a modern car, but when you're wrenching on your Cougar,
I stopped feeling like it was fun. It felt like a chore, and I did a chore and I produced a mediocre beer that I didn't want to drink, and I would drink beer I bought instead. And I'm like, what if I just skipped all this other stuff and just bought the beer I wanted to drink and reclaimed some of the space in my home to store all the stuff that I have nowhere to put?
But that's my thing is like, I want to drink a low ABV beers just on a weeknight. I don't want to be drinking 7% Swamis every night, 3 cans, because that adds up calorie wise. I'm just sitting at home playing video games, doing nothing. Like I want to drink something that's delicious and has more, like I can control the product. I can make it as hoppy or as roasty or put coffee in it. Like I can just dose kegs at will.
The big thing for me is like, I like hoppy beer, and hoppy homebrew is more expensive.
Oh, I'm with you.
Hoppy homebrew is more expensive than.
I'm never going to brew an IPA. I'll probably do like a table beer.
Yeah.
And like a British mild.
That's a really good point, because like just brewing like a good like porter or brown ale is so easy. Like, and you easy to the point where you don't even have to think about it.
It's cheap as shit too.
Yeah, you pay, even if you bought it as a kit, you're paying what, $15 for a kit.
Yeah,
if that. I made a long time ago. Remember Eagle Rock? They had a beer called Solidarity, which is a British mild.
Yeah,
and I think it was like 3.5% or something like that. I was like, "Hey, can you give me the recipe like scaled down?" They did, and I made it, and it was great. I want to do that again.
It's super easy to make, like just the basic like styles of beer. That's a good point. If you want to geek out and try to figure out how to get like the best, I don't know, utilization of your hops on a homebrew scale when dry hopping, that's a different level of geekiness, and I respect that. Like if you can pull that off as a home brewer, then more power to you. But if you don't want to put in that much work, don't.
Yeah, if your goal is to maybe one day become a brewer professionally or start a brewery, then absolutely you want to be going into recipes of how to make IPAs. Like, Julian Schrago is a good example of that. Yeah. Somebody who made one beer 50 times and tried to perfect his recipes until he figured it out with help from professionals and stuff like that were like, dude, your homebrew is better than mine. You tell me.
Well, even Kyle, Kyle from the chat, always working on his hazy, making it better and better and better. He'll give us little updates here and there. Like I did this, and this is, oh wow, this is the best one. Oh, now this is the best one. I like hearing that. That's great, and that's the whole point of home brewing.
Tweaking. That's called my tweaking.
And I think Jason, going back to Jason, like I wouldn't give up on it. Just maybe keep up with home brewing and like geek out on it a little bit. Maybe upgrade your equipment and do like simpler styles that you can still enjoy the hobby, but not have to worry about it becoming a chore.
Cider, make a wine. Erin like loves mead, and she's like, how do we make mead? Because it's really expensive. I'm like, dude, I mean, just buying the honey is expensive, but you can make a gallon of it for half of what you're paying.
Yeah, I'm like maybe going down to like some sort of 1 gallon system where I'm just fucking around in my kitchen and it's not a whole fucking big, like a full day project. That would be more reasonable, but it just like brew day was a fucking chore that I did to make me.
It is work. I'll give you that. It is work.
Yeah.
there's people that
8 hours.
legitimately enjoy the process, and I felt like the process was the chores I had to do to get to what I like. And at the end of the day, I made beer that I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. And I'm like, wow, I did 8 hours of work to make a beer that I was like, yeah, not bad. I mean, I'd rather drink every other beer I have in my fridge, but
But for me though, if I spent 6 hours to get 10 gallons of a good brown ale, I think that's time well spent because I had fun doing it, and
it's gonna last a while.
But
it's
who's
not like
drink that brown ale.
What's that?
Who's gonna drink that brown ale though?
I'll drink it.
No, I won't.
Well, okay. Insert beer style here. Like
I don't like the easy styles. That's the problem.
I think you do though. Like, what about a cream ale? That's easy.
Stays on.
Whack.
Stays on.
Cream ale, yeah.
How is cream ale whack?
It's a shitty lager.
Oh Jesus!
All right. I bet it's still not price competitive with buying a 30-pack.
Okay,
well, we're trying.
I hear you. But here's the thing:
I put the same energy into making ribs, then I feed so many people, and everyone's like, "These are the best ribs I've ever had." And I'm like,
my rosé I have on tap is some of the best wine. I think I enjoy it quite a bit. It's really
how about
good.
wine, Jason?
Can we
still on tap
with ribs?
I've had it on tap for like 3 or 4 months, and it's perfect. It's so good.
I think you can pair rosé with ribs. I think that would work quite well.
Hell yeah, rosé pairs with anything.
Fuck yeah, let's pair. Greg,
it's a contrasting. It's a contrasting pair where it's going to cleanse your palate.
Oh, hey John, I found this. Goddamn, what was the name of that company now? I found this company that does all these like meat replacement products that I heard really good things about. They're all bean based. It's all plant based. It's not like super chemically. It's like beans and seasonings.
Like soybean or other beans?
I'm not sure. Let me fucking find them.
Get soy boobs.
I don't have soy boobs. My boobs are fine.
I know somebody who was born and raised vegan, and they had boobs from soy. It was weird.
Sweet.
Very I like your boobs, bro. Nice knockers.
It's a very good butcher, is what they're called. They do plant-based. But
that's so weird. But when I typed V, in Chrome, it typed Vic's secret.
Vic is for Victoria,
right? Very.
But yeah,
good.
This company does like sausages and like burger patties and all this other shit. And somebody in another Discord I hang out in was saying how their stuff's really good.
See, I'm fine with the bean stuff, like legume based vegan.
Somebody who's a meat eater was saying this stuff's really good, and their whole thing is they're trying to be like, we're not all about like chemical food additives. It's more like we're
the best.
Like they're trying to do more like flavor based stuff that's just seasoning and.
Right, you can get like a butcher box.
Yeah, they got a big box of plant based meat. Let's see, this is. 12 get 12 packs of
69 reviews,
blah blah blah, 28 mouth-watering meals, blah blah blah. Okay,
I like that they have sausage.
2 packs of very good burgers, 1 pack of smoking burgers, 1 pack of smoking bangers, 1 pack of very British bangers, 2 packs of taco stuffer, barbecue jackfruit, ribs, and pepperoni.
Not appetizing.
What's that, Greg?
On their website with the on the box, like the picture of like there's 2 hot dogs with like mustard and chives on them. They look like they're deep fried or something.
They look like burnt dongs.
Yeah, it looks like mummy dong.
Mummy, where's your dong?
The ribs. Oh wow, I've never seen a company attempt vegan ribs, and these ribs look
like a McRib, but
plant
based.
Obviously, there's no bone, but
they look as legit as a McRib, more legit than a McRib.
It looks good. These are very good photos. Yeah,
I don't see that.
It's in the big box. The big box O plant.
Okay. That's
Tacos.
the like triangle looking thing.
Tacos look good.
Tacos.
The jackfruit. I
We
think
do soy rizo.
you can't go wrong with any kind of jackfruit like pulled
I
pork
agree, 100%.
thing. Like jackfruit's really good at imitating pulled pork.
So good,
Yeah.
and you don't get the shits.
I'll check it out. Definitely.
I gotta
Maybe
say
I'll get
though, also
big
John,
box.
in bad news, your camera still artifacts like fucking crazy.
I can't help it. I
Yeah,
don't know what to say.
It's very
It's the HDMI out from this Sony camera, and
you're aliasing pretty hard.
yeah,
it's called moire,
around your
not
glass.
aliasing. It's moire.
it looks better, quote unquote,
Like a big
except for
pizza
then.
pie, some more.
Except for then, there's just anytime there's motion, it's just like crazy artifacting everywhere.
I'm going to say this. You guys have the same effects happening on the edges of your, like where there's high contrast edges. It's the processing of StreamYard. That's what it comes down to.
I don't see it on Greg. Greg looks fine.
No, all right. It's
Like if I'm looking at both of yours has noticeable artifacts all over your whole face.
around like your glasses lenses.
yeah. But when I shrink down, my scruff on my face is going to like really be artifacting. If I wear a knit cap, it's
Your max headroom over there.
I can't help it. I'm sorry. Sorry.
I'm saying at this
amore.
point, I'm not sure it looks better than what you had before.
Jason has spent $2,500 on this camera. Stop talking.
Maybe try different output settings.
I'll have to mess with it. I know there's settings for video where you can de-sharpen the video if it's too sharp. So that might be a thing.
Oh, that's nice.
But yeah.
All right, gang. I'm gonna bounce.
This
Yeah, I think we're
lager's
done
good,
here.
by the way. Yeah, I'm gonna jam.
Yeah, going back to this lager from Wayfinder, this one right here. Very, very good. Nice and clean. A little bit of roast on it.
Very clean. Very
Crushable.
nice.
Yeah.
Whoop.
This is, what's the alcohol on this?
I would hope low. 4 or 5.
5.2. Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh,
this
that's
is
the high end of Schwarzbier.
Good stuff. All right. So thank you all for watching. And we will see you guys next week. Are we doing Russian River next week? Like the younger?
Yeah,
I think?
you don't want those beers to get old.
I mean, I
so-
guess we at least the 2 beers we have. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're just doing younger because I gave you the Fooder beer as like a bonus beer because they only sent 2 of those. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.